From a high-altitude view, the major cities of Latin America reveal a staggering level of geometric perfection. At the heart of Mexico City, a massive open square sits flanked by a dominant cathedral and heavy government stone. Travel thousands of miles south to Lima, Peru, and the layout is identical. The same Plaza Mayor, cathedral placement, and institutional relationship. Achieving this level of uniformity across diverse climates and massive distances required more than just common architectural tastes. This uniformity was the direct output of an obsessive administrative bureaucracy. Spain governed its territories through a strict framework of written ordinances and standardized protocols. To understand modern Latin America, we have to look at this 500-year-old blueprint, a deliberate framework of urban design, higher education, and linguistic unification that served as the scaffolding for an entire continent. The Leyes de Indias, or Laws of the Indies, functioned as a city-building algorithm dispatched from Spain. This document contains the precise instructions for every new settlement in the Americas. These laws mandated the central plaza be a rectangle, precisely 1.5 times longer than its width. This ratio provided the necessary turning radius for horses and a standardized stage for military parades and public festivals. Street widths were determined by climate, wide for cold regions to catch sunlight, narrow in hot climates for continuous shade. Zoning also controlled disease. Hospitals built outside city limits and positioned downwind kept urban air clean. Similar rules pushed slaughterhouses and other odorous industries to the edges of rivers, ensuring that waste and smells were carried away from the residential grid. These ordinances were not mere suggestions. They were a mandatory code that engineered a unified, organized physical reality across the Spanish territories. Once the physical grid was established, the empire needed an educative class of administrators to manage its legal and economic systems. Higher education followed plaza construction. Universities were founded in major capitals like Lima and Mexico City to train lawyers, clerics, and necessary administrative staff. Across every province, students entered a standardized curriculum of grammar, theology, and the sciences. At Tlatelolco, the administration established specialized colleges specifically for indigenous youth, built directly alongside ancient stone foundations. Here, local youth were taught Latin, reading, writing, and classical European music. This educational infrastructure created a bilingual class of scholars who could navigate local culture and the Spanish legal system, effectively running the new cities. Connecting these grids and institutions required a final layer of infrastructure, a common language. The religious friars tasked with running schools and parishes realized they could not govern or teach without first mastering local communication. These handwritten marginal notes reflect years of immersion, with friars documenting and codifying indigenous grammars long before attempting to introduce Spanish. To bridge the gap, they blended local musical traditions with formal schooling, using song and rhythm to teach Spanish syntax to the youth. Because these school and parish models were replicated in every new bishopric and province, this linguistic training spread through thousands of communities across the continent. This widespread repetition eventually fused isolated groups into a cohesive communication zone, allowing disparate regions to speak to one another for the first time. The Spanish Empire fell centuries ago, but the foundational algorithm it deployed is still running even today. The geometric grid and the institutional structures have outlasted the power that created them. You see it when a student enters a 400-year-old university, when a community gathers in a central plaza, and when millions speak the same language from the U.S. border to Tierra del Fuego. This 500-year-old blueprint isn't just history, it is the permanent operational infrastructure of the Americas.